We're here to talk about the first showing with a new lead. Super important one. So let's start by talking about preparation. What should you prepare to go meet a client for the first time?
Yeah. Quick CMA is first immediate thought. The MLS sheet, and then, you should probably have a buyer's guide or something, takeaways, folder.
Yep.
You might not have it with you, but you should probably have it in your car.
Yeah.
At least.
Oh, I learned that from Tim early on. He always had both a buyer and a seller folder loaded, ready to roll at any given point in time.
Yeah.
Because you never know where you're going to cross paths with somebody who asks you about real estate and tees up a good conversation, and you've already surprisingly earned the right to talk to them about real estate. So in this situation, we're talking about meeting a lead for the very first showing. And so preparation-wise, just like Braden said, do the quick CMA. It takes 2 minutes in the MLS. Go a step further, use your highlighter and circle finished price per square foot, days on market, the actives, and the close. And really hammer home on that close data, right? Because that's factual. Those are prices people have paid for a house within that neighborhood. And I like, if possible, to keep it to a quarter mile of the house. So I think it's pretty powerful when you say, hey, by the way, I ran numbers on every home that's sold in the last year within 1/4 mile of here, and these are the averages. And this is how this house is priced compared to the average. Super easy to spot, but by circling it, you call attention to it.
And knowing what it means.
And being able to talk about what it means. When I've done this for a handful of clients who really resonated with it, if your client's a data person, they're going to love this. If they're not, they may not, but at least it shows your proficiency. You're a PhD level real estate advisor. Of course, you're going to know the numbers for the neighborhood. And I've had people that will actually say, hey, can you run the numbers like you did that one time on this house? I'm like, absolutely. Fire it off.
I've had people ask me before, what's the price per square foot in this neighborhood?
Yeah.
Like, you don't think people would ask that, but like they have.
They have, and you should know it. So have that folder dialed. Have your advisor trifold, some testimonials, reviews in there, a buyer guide or buyer takeaways, your quick CMA for that property. If you're showing 10 houses, just do the very first one at the very minimum that you're going to meet them at. You don't need to do 10. You probably don't need to do this every single time going forward. But we're trying to win the right to be their advisor on the first showing.
And then, this isn't physical, but talk to the listing agent.
Call the listing agent. If you need to use a reason, I still use this one. I call and say, hey, even if it's not true, I call and say, hey, my clients always ask me about the age of the roof and the furnace, the utilities, sewer line. Do you know any of that? And read the MLS first in case it mentions it, or you're going to sound real dumb. Which is like, I put that in the MLS. But ask them that if you don't see it in there. That way you've got some extra value to bring to your lead by saying, oh yeah, I already talked to the listing agent. Furnace was replaced in 2012, blah, blah, blah. And what does that mean?
Yeah.
Right?
This is just like the first call with a client.
Yeah.
Like, ask your questions and let them talk, because they'll spill everything.
Yeah.
Like, my favorite question is, what is the feedback you guys have gotten so far?
Yeah.
And they'll be like, oh yeah, everybody's talking about that carpet. Like, my seller's already offering a $10,000 concession. And then it goes to your clients.
Yep.
Or your customers that you're meeting, and people love information that other people don't know.
Yeah,
so if you can
so
provide
true.
something to them that they don't already know,
yeah,
it's awesome.
So true. All right, so super important to prepare enough until you're confident and ready to go meet that client. Know the facts of the house, print your quick CMA, have a folder ready, and the next step we'll talk about what it looks like when you show up at the house.